Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we are going to be discussing a few new updates here into the regards of The Mandalorian Season 4, when and will it be streaming onto Disney+. Of course, we're going to be discussing and covering all that right now. Before we do though, however, grab the subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab the subscribe button today. Okay, so as I had also mentioned, of course, we're going to be discussing everything that we know and everything that we're anticipating here. In this video, we are going to be taking a quick read from the Director article. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. Their newest and most recent article here about The Mandalorian Season 4 and overall updates into the regards of the series consists of 5 reasons as of to why The Mandalorian Season 4 probably won't happen on Disney+. Well, at least anytime soon. Of course, for those of you guys that know me here on the channel, I like to always remain very optimistic about Star Wars projects. Nonetheless, the announcement of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie as the next Star Wars movie from Lucasfilm and Disney might have actually shut down the chances of the Mandalorian Season 4 happening and still moving forward on Disney+. And so, as far back as May of 2022, nearly 2 years ago, the series creator Jon Favreau has confirmed that he had begun writing the Mandalorian Season 4 scripts. He would then later go on to confirm in February of last year, 2023, that he had finished and was done writing the next season of the Disney Plus series and done writing for Season 4. But Lucasfilm threw a bit of a curveball into the mix in late of 2023 by announcing the Mandalorian and Grogu movie as the next theatrical Star Wars movie, which has since been announced with its official release date for May 22nd of 2026. Okay, well, that's not entirely correct. It was officially announced not last year, 2023, but this year, in January of this year. Anyway, The Hollywood Reporter goes on to explain the decision to shift from Season 4 of the show and being released on Disney Plus to a movie for a theatrical release instead for The Mandalorian's next outing came during the last year's strikes when, quote-unquote, things got reevaluated with plans shifting to the movie as this main priority, ending that quote right there, for overall Lucasfilm and their next plans into the regards of these characters. Now, as of my own personal thoughts and opinions, I think that I speak for a lot of you maybe out there. Of course, I can't always say that though, so let me know what you think in the comments down below, of course. I think that it would be a bit of a dumb move for them to shift entirely away from Disney Plus with The Mandalorian. Not only is this the most viewed Star Wars show, this is the most viewed show, not just on Disney Plus, but it's up there, like, outbeating shows on Netflix, Hulu, HBO. Like, The Mandalorian is seriously popular, and so for them to just not move forward with anything else releasing on the streamer would be a bit of a bad move, in my thoughts and opinions at least. On the flip side of that, however, it's definitely a good idea to try and do a theatrical release and making a movie for the show. It's something that we haven't really ever seen before. I could be wrong about that, though. Let me know in the comments down below, of course. Having a show and having that translated into a movie and for it to be extremely successful, at least in the more recent times. And so, with The Mandalorian and Grogu now the priority of Lucasfilm and Jon Favreau as well, it seems, that leaves the obvious question of whether Season 4 is ever even going to happen, before, during, or even after the Mandalorian and Grogu movie releases. And there are several other reasons to believe that there may not be another outing on Disney Plus at least. Our first reason comes with box office glory. The Mandalorian has grown a huge fan base and service over its 3 seasons to make it one of the biggest series of the recent years. As I had mentioned, not just one of the most viewed Star Wars shows, not just one of the most viewed shows out there, period, beating out shows on Netflix like Stranger Things or HBO Max. A symbol of the modern streaming era and arguably the face of modern Disney Star Wars. Due to the growing popularity of these characters, Disney is looking to capitalize on the heightened interest at the box office with the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Between how well the Mandalorian brand itself has resonated with audiences, and this being the first Star Wars movie within the last 7 years, expectations are high for the flick to turn around some big numbers at the box office, and possibly cross over that 1 billion mark worldwide. I think it can do that quite easily. Not if, but when The Mandalorian and Grogu can turn over such results at the box office, Disney likely won't be willing to quote-unquote waste Mando on streaming, putting in those efforts into another streaming show. Instead, Lucasfilm would find itself instead developing a number of sequels for the big screen, leaving Season 4 in the dust. It's a bit unfair to say leaving Season 4 in the dust entirely. I think essentially with what it would consist of is whatever story they would want to tell in Season 4 of a show releasing on Disney Plus would simply be transitioned and over into the big screen. And so, after spending years with a focus on Disney Plus and streaming under the former CEO, Bob Chapek, his replacement, Bob Iger, is making some efforts to refocus the House of Mouse onto the big screen and to really reestablish the studio's box office dominance, which has been a big struggle within the last couple of years. It really does have to come, at the end of the day, at fault to the House of Mouse, because I, a big movie buff and a big movie fan out there, at least I would like to think, some, Disney movies out there I wasn't actually finding out that they were releasing until 2 weeks beforehand, and they would only be releasing on Disney Plus on the streamer. So it'd kind of be like, what's even the point of it if you're not going to put it out into theaters to get some of that box office revenue, is kind of where I find a bit of a confusion. And I think that is where the House of Mouse or Disney kind of falls flat and goes wrong. I don't have any doubt that they're going to go wrong with it when it comes to The Mandalorian and Grogu, because, well, we know about it, we're covering it, and it feels like there's something new with it every other week. This includes Star Wars, as, after years of trying to get a new movie off of the ground and into theaters, there are now 4 movies in development and set to release within the coming years within a galaxy far away. The first of which to come and to really lead the road is going to be the Mandalorian and Grogu movie on May 22nd of 2026, as I had mentioned, with 2 other further movie releases slated for December of 2026 and 2027. Lucasfilm is making a big push to make Star Wars a theatrical franchise once again, almost 5 years after the last flick had hit theaters with The Rise of Skywalker in 2019. These efforts may see fewer live-action Star Wars projects landing on Disney Plus, but I think it's the price that we would pay for it, as Ahsoka Season 2 is seemingly the only other series lining up to begin its production, aside from maybe The Acolyte Season 2. The Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, and Andor Season 2 have already wrapped their respective seasons. Overall, while it may seem a bit unfortunate, I think it's a better thing, if for anything, to see how Disney really plans to play their cards and refocusing the Mandalorian franchise, the entirety of the Mandoverse, onto the big screen and making that transition from the streaming world onto the big screen. Anyway, guys, this here all being said, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Of course, I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been an official Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.